Hello everyone. We're back again today. We should be finalizing our drums today, our hat boxes. So we just want to do some touches. We need to do some. Sorry about that. We need to do some water slide transfers on Oma's box. She did a lid and it is dry now. So we're going to be doing a water slide on that. Hi Letitia. So yeah, we'll get to that. On my box I've done that side and then I did the stencils. So I just need to fill them in again with the aging. So I'll show you that again. And then on my lid is dried now. I've started putting in some centers to my flowers, so I want to finish with that today. Hi Jackie. This is how the lid is looking so far. You see I left the antiquing in the crevices. Hi Anna Marie. So that's how it's looking at the moment. So I want to enter my centers for my flowers, and we still need to decide what color this is going to become. I haven't decided on that one yet. So if you put the two together, it should be looking something like this. As you guys can see. I need to decide what to do with this piece, because it's like a second piece of the box. So should I put more of these, or should I maybe put a ribbon, or what should I do? I'm actually leaning towards the ribbon. Net van PE. Ek hoop julle is warm in PE want ons kry koud in Joburg. So this is the hat box where it is so far. I'm up here and there where she made a little circles for her markers. So once she's done there, we'll do the water slide transfer on her box. I've got some of these little pearly stuff hanging about. So I want to do that on this portion here of my hat box. I actually thought it would be quite nice if you put it there. Let me just grab it, it's so sticky. If you put it on there. Yes, I'm thinking some pretty lace on that, because this is an odd piece of the box. So yeah, you'll give me some ideas as we go. I don't think I've got that width of lace, but I do have ribbon, which I could always use there. We're at the stage now where we need to use whatever we have.
Remember we bought that box of ribbons from that lady that closed down in Alberton? I've still got all those.
Lace or ribbon?
Lace.
Oh yes, we can use that.
Because there's beige and white and...
Yeah, I think a beige color would be nice, but there's pretty lace in there. This thing keeps on sticking now. Alright, so what I want to do is, can you all hear us fine? Because we've got the little speakers in, so we're never sure if you can hear us. Yeah, just give us a thumbs up if you can hear us. So today I want to come back to where I left off yesterday and just add, you see on this side I did the shading. So I just want to do now the same on this side. I'm not going to repeat the flowers all the way around because I'll be waiting forever on this one. Hello Stella, hi Nancia, Donkey. It's always nice to know it's nice. Just to show you a bit what we did yesterday for the shading is I used two brushes. One for the rococo, which is the brown. It's not the black brown, it's the brown. Hi Nunu. And one for the antique glaze. So I used both of them together. I'm going to show you that process used for a lid. It's a water slide from the Velvet Attic. So I'm going to be using this. Are you going to be cutting around the flowers?
Let me see. No, I wanted to just do it the whole thing like
But
that.
then you're going to have that square border.
Should I just go like, but I like the little border.
Alright?
Can we not,
You can shape around it, yeah. So cut it where you need it.
not going to cut it?
You need to cut the white piece off, Mom.
Oh yes, of course.
Alright, I just want to get the brushes.
Here's the brushes.
I'm stealing all my brushes out of yesterday. Alright, so this one will work fine. No, it's not. These. I'm using 2 round head brushes. That's just normal hogging. And one is going into the Rococo brown, and the other one is going into the antique glaze. So the first thing I do is I use my Rococo. Remember to have your rag close by.
You're standing with your back towards the camera.
Yes, but I need to show them the front of my box. I'm not sure if they can see very well, so I'll probably be closer. So you dip it into your paint, just like we do stencil brushing. Hello, Ade. Dip it into your paint. I'm using Rococo brown. And then you wipe it on your rag so that you're working with a dry brush. And now I'm going to take my flower and I'm going around the edges on the one side just to give a bit of definition with my Rococo brown, so that it can look like this. That's the completed side. Hi, Leo. Going in with a dark brown brush, dry brush, just going on the edges next to my stenciled flower. I think I might not have enough pattern now. Is this thing also making thick in your ear? No. Okay. Then it's more. Are you guys hearing us okay? Dry brush, Rococo brown, going into the side. And then if you feel you've got a bit too much on it, you can take your rag and you can just wipe a little bit, not everything, just a little bit. And then I go into my glaze. This is the antique glaze from Petit Rouge. It's much wetter than the paint is. So you'll see it's actually going to spread your paint a bit as well. And I just go in and I blend it in. And I just leave it a bit before I wipe it. Okay? So it's 2 brushes you're using. One for the glaze and one for the paint. That's exactly what I did on that side. So you just pop a bit.
Did you also seal your box before you put that on?
No, I haven't sealed my box at all. The only thing I've sealed is my applique, my fabric applique. I did sealant underneath and I did sealant over the top.
I just feel that when I do the glazing, if I've sealed the box, then I can handle it better.
Yeah, look, if you're still learning how to work with glaze, it might be a good idea to seal your item first. But honestly, I don't have that patience.
So that you do that.
So I've done that little part now. Yeah. Now going in with my glaze brush and basically just blending the paint and the glaze together. So I'm basically blending paint and glaze together. That's what I'm doing here.
My little glaze.
Ja, normaal en nou eers wys van die transfer.
The water slide.
Yes, you need to come on this side. Because I don't think they can see on that side. So what we're doing today is we're putting on a water slide transfer on Emma's box. So she's cut out the transfer to how she wants it. This is a water slide from the Velvet Attic. We've just got normal water in the little bowl that you see here. Do you have a dry rag?
No, don't get one.
Yes. So you need to have a dry rag where you can actually wipe the water down. So once Mom comes with a rag, we will continue on that one. In the meantime, I'm going on where I left off on my flower. Now, your fabric might react differently to your glaze. You'll see I'm actually going over the fabric now. This is our fabric applique we put on when we started. So I'm just going slightly with the brown. Hi Marco. Hi Mari. And then I dry my glaze also on a dry rag, and I start blending the glaze with the fabric and the brown. So that's just going to give me that bit of a shadow that I'm looking for. And you can actually blend the two well together. That way your flower's going to start popping. Alright, back to the water slide, sorry. My voice is going here. No, you need to go there and use this. So, as I said, this is a water slide from the Velvet Attic. This is just a bowl of normal water. This is just a dry rag. Well, it's not very tidy. So we just put the slide in. You'll see it starts curling. And we're going to leave it like that, because once it's actually open, and then you know it's right that you can take your water slide out of the water and dab it off. So we're just leaving it in there for a moment or two. It's going onto this lid. We've painted it with parchment from Petit Rouge, and we've sealed it with the lacquer from Petit Rouge. No, okay. You just bring me over there. I'm not going to do it. What are you going to do?
You're standing on the other side.
Alright, so if my back is towards you guys, sorry. It's difficult showing you exactly what's happening here, so and we can't get this up there, so. Right, so now, as you see, Mom starts getting it loose, and it starts coming apart. So what happens is your slide moves away from your paper.
You're missing on the floor.
And that's when you know it's ready to put down on your item. So we just dab it a bit with the cloth so it's not too wet. How do you want it? Like that?
Yes. Yeah, the other way.
I slide the slide off a bit, and that's where it's actually hold on the item. And then I slowly pull out the back piece of paper. So this is the slide of the paper, the back piece that is left. You now see that it's on, but it's got a couple of riffles, if you want to call it that. I just take my rag and I brush it out so that it's nice and smooth. And if this doesn't, if you see you've got a lot of folds on your paper, remember there's a piece of stickiness to this paper, so you can still use this and fold it and use that to your advantage and just wipe your picture nicely. So the only thing that is making this water slide stick to the surface is the water. The moment the water evaporates, it will no longer stick. So it's important once this is dried that you actually go over and seal your item. Otherwise, in 2 weeks' time, you'll take it off and put it onto something else. So that is looking very nice. This is the lid of Mom's box. Hi Lorraine, hi Rosie. Yeah, but now it first needs to dry, Mom. Yes. Okay. You are welcome to. I'm busy shading in my antique glaze and my rococo brown with my flower, so I'm mixing the two bit by bit. And remember, I'm glazing my fabric applique as well at the moment. But you see, it's still possible to blend it in, even though it's fabric. Okay, what you doing? Are you glazing? Yes. Alright. So what Mom wants to do is she wants to take this in the box. She wants to make a flower lighter because they're very prominent now next to that. Hi Elsa. Thanks Lorraine. So what she's going to be doing is she's just going to take the normal white glaze and just glaze over the flowers. So Mom, I think the best way would be like that. I just want to put a little bottle of that. So we're using the Petite Rouge white glaze, and I'm going to ask her to do a section of a flower so that you can see the color difference. So maybe if you take this and you just do half of it. I think what this one you can use. Just like so. There. That's it. So you just basically wipe the glaze over your item. You make it let it sit for a moment or two, and then you just wipe it back. I'm just going to show you before we wipe it back. Just stop there. Alright. Alright, so this is how it looks before you wipe it down. And now Mom's going to wipe it. So just give it a moment so that it sets. You might want to wipe down your fabric now. Alright, so what I'm doing is hi Renelle, hi Danila. So I'm taking the double brown rococo from Petite Rouge. I'm just doing a little edge around my flower. I'm then taking the glaze, which is the antique brown glaze. So I'm just blending in the glaze with the brown. We do lose connection. It comes back, so just please be patient. It does come back. So I've blended the glaze with the paint. Now I'm going to rub it in. I'll use this cloth. Yeah. Alright, so for those of you that didn't know you can blend on fabric with glaze, there you go. So I just blend in the glaze on the edge, like so. You see? I think that looks beautiful. Alright, so here you can see a clear difference between the white glaze on this side, and this portion hasn't been. It actually lightens it quite a lot. Alright, even the leaf, you can see the difference in the leaf. So if you want to light something up, the white glaze is perfect for that. So for instance, if you've got something that you painted black and you want a softness to it, you can always use the white glaze over that. Alright, what else did I do here? Oh, I went around. I want to now try and create the same type of pattern I did on this side. So I'm trying to create this type of shading on that side now. Rococo brown. It's just the brown chalk paint from Petit Rouge. And then I'm going in with the antique glaze. I'll show you again. So you see it looks like a very hard edge at the moment until you start blending with your glaze. And you can actually see how it blends in. I'll take it right up to you. And now I can still wipe it down. That's pretty. I'll show them now.
It's not so dark as it was, so it looks better.
It's dark, yeah.
Yes. Let's have a look. Show them a comparison with that side.
Okay, so this is how it looked. And this is how it looks now once it's got the white glaze. So you'll see it makes it a lot softer. I actually like the softness one.
So I use the spot there.
I'm just going in with the antique glaze on my edges as well. And then once you put your glaze on, you just wipe it down.
On the cloth.
It does work on the cloth. I've tried it. There you go. And then just blend in the rest of your glaze. So what I want to create is that it looks like the flowers are actually standing out. Hi Sherita. So I'm just using the normal Rococo brown from Petit Rouge and just doing a little edge around my flower. And then immediately taking my glaze, my antique glaze, because it's actually much wetter than my paint, and then blending it together like so. Every time I go around this again. So you see, and that gives you that antique.
And then you just seal it like normal again afterwards.
What
Does it also dry overnight?
Yeah, look, your paint still takes 8 hours to cure, so you still need to make sure that your paint cures properly before you seal it. So just remember that you don't go and paint it and seal it immediately. It needs to cure. And also the glaze also needs to cure. And just remember that shading is not always the same everywhere. So certain places it will be darker and certain places it would be lighter. Hello, Sophia. So what I now do, because it's now looking like a very dark line, I just take out my glaze. And I can blend it in more. So that I do create that bit of antique shadow there. I let it stand for a moment and then I wipe it down.
Must I wash the brush quickly?
Are you done now with it?
Yes.
Okay.
Just put it in the water.
Yeah, just put it in the water.
I'll do it now.
So I'm going around with my Rococo brown from Petit Rouge around my flower. And then I'm going in straight afterwards with my antique glaze. And then just blending it in with the browns.
There you go.
Alright. You see that? It's now starting to become that. And now I can just wipe the piece that's been standing a bit.
Are you finished for the white? Can I close it or you still
No,
have it?
I'm finished with white now. So now I am done. I'm just using a normal rag just to dab it in. I'll probably land up doing a bit darker because I like the contrast. So it just makes your flowers stand out from the background a bit. I actually like this brown more and more every day. Yeah, but it's personal. So what have you guys been up to? What have you been doing? Hi Lida, hi Lavinia. I'm blending chalk paint with glaze, basically. You want to call that so. I've put on the brown, rococo brown from Petit Rouge, and I'm blending it in with the antique glaze of Petit Rouge. Remember, this week is doing something fun in your painting studio or painting room or painting corner. Some nice updates. Take some photos and share it on the page.
Shall I do
Just so that we can share in creativity.
Shall I do the rims now?
The rims? Yes, yeah. What color are you thinking of? Maybe this minty color?
Yes.
Or what?
Yes.
Or are you after the bottom?
No, that minty color is nice.
This is the minty one. She was got a guest yesterday.
I'll have to wash that one separate when once you're done.
So I'm just taking the normal brown chalk paint. I've dried my brush. Hi, Urina. The roses are stenciled with multi-layer stencils. So I'm just taking my brown chalk paint brush, going around the edge of my flower, like so. And then I'm taking the antique glaze from Petit Rouge, and I'm blending it in with the glaze.
Can I just ask you something? Can I put this tape over where I've glazed them?
No, because it's weak.
Oh, be careful.
You must be very careful when you paint now. And I just fill in with the glaze. And then once it's a bit drier, I will start working it in so that we've got... Lida, no, the roses are actually peonies, and they've been done with a multi-layer stencil. Let me just show you quickly.
You can go back on the previous video.
Yeah, if you go back 2 days, you'll see that we've done them with these. Let me just grab these. This is a 2-layer peony. This is your first layer. You paint that first. And then it's got this little holes where you can actually set it up exactly the same, and you paint the second one, and that's how you get this flower. And then the other one is a... Where is that little piece now? Okay. So the other one is a 4-layer. This is your first layer. So you paint it and you mark your little marks. And then you remove it and you put your second stencil on there, all numbered in the corner. And then you paint a bit darker color. And then the third one, the darkest color. And then afterwards we just go and do a bit of a crown. And those are these small ones. So they're all done with multi-layer stencils. And the leaves are also part of the layering, however they're just 2 layers. Okay. What we have done is on the lid, we put it more in the sun. On the lid we've done a water slide transfer, and this is from Petite Rouge and the Velvet Attic. So this is now just drying in the sun. We've done it on top of a sealed item. And then this is the one that has been done with clay. So I am still busy doing the inside. Yes, Lida, you're welcome to. If you want to have a look, there are on the webpage, roysuitcase.co.za. I'll drop the link afterwards once I go back to your messages. Alright, so I think this one should be dry enough now just to tap down. So all I'm doing now is I'm just tapping it. And you can decide how much or how little you want to do, and you can decide if you want to smear it or want to dab it. If you feel you've got a little bit too, it looks like there's a bit of a strip there. I don't like that. Then I can always reapply some more glaze over that. So once again, just using my glaze brush, and then just the area where I want it a little bit darker, just go over it again and just let it stand a little bit. There we go. What else did I do here? Oh, I started doing fancy footwork on this side. You see, I now need to recreate that type of shading there. Our signal drops from time to time. Please just bear with us. Our Wi-Fi isn't too hot in this area, so we tend to lose and come back, but eventually you'll see the whole video on here. We are thinking of, we are busy moving some of the videos. They will still stay on the current page until we are done, but we have started moving some of them. Alright, I just want to show you what I do now on this edge. I just go into just a portion of the flower, because I don't want shadow everywhere on the side. And I just put my little brown mark. This is the cocoa brown from Petite Rouge. So it's a normal chalk paint. Just dry brush. Well, that's beautiful. And then I use my glaze brush. This is the antique glaze from Petite Rouge. Oops, there we go. And I just blend the chalk and the glaze together. So yeah. Ankerika. So you see, I just blend the two. So you've got a bit of a shading happening there. And I'm not too worried now about shading it in, because I'm going to be doing this whole area, but only with the glaze. And remember, keep on cleaning the brush, keep on drying it, so that you're not working with too wet paint. To have any dark chalk. So you see how it's starting to come together. Now I won't wipe this unless it's stood for a minute or two. But don't go do your essential shopping and then decide to blend your glaze, because then you will be too late. You will not be able to blend them. I normally let it stand for about a minute or two, and then I go in and I just wipe it down. So what I'm doing now is I'm only working with the glaze, and I'm just putting in portions of the glaze. So you'll see what happens here now is you've got darker areas and you've got lighter areas of the glaze. This is where I didn't put any chalk paint.
Is that the right color?
I like that. Yes, let's just show them to you. So this is minty macron at the bottom of a madromiki. And it's not a train smash if you go over the line. You just go and you touch it up. It needs to be nice, a nice craft. You shouldn't be stressing yourself out or
Peter's watching.
anything.
He wants to see if we're playing or whether we're working.
So just enjoy what you do. Enjoy your craft. If you make a mistake, make it part of the craft. I mean, it's handmade. It's not manufacturing. It's handmade. So just enjoy what you're doing. Alright, so now, remember I did this top part and I've left it now for a while or two. So now I just go in with my dry rag again and I just dab it a bit. And look how nice it's blended. So I can now continue like this, going over my whole box. I just need to make sure that I've got the right shade, because sometimes I go darker on the one side and lighter on the other side. So you see, I just use my rag and I start moving the glaze. En there you go. Plus minus ongeveer so. Hi Juliana. Yes, I'll continue and I'll do the antique glaze over the whole item. I will get a bigger brush eventually, because I can't see myself doing this with this little brush the whole drum full. I do want to show you another little trick that I use just to get some bit of aging going on. You
I
see,
think as from tomorrow all the hardware stores are open.
I think so too.
Yes.
So yeah, you will see there's a bit of a darker portion. This is a very old hat box. You can see that, guys. This little darker portion, you remember now you've got a dry brush with dark brown sitting and waiting, not being used at the moment. So that's the same brush I then use. Oh, this thing is down here. And say for instance I want to do it there. Oh, this is going to... Don't you want to... Yeah, my arms are not... Okay, I've got it. Alright, so now I want to put a little shading here. So I've got a bit of a dry brush. And I just go into the area. Thanks. That's right. Into the little area I want to antique. Just hold them off. And I take my rag. And I can just wipe it down. And that's it. That's how you get that old looking pieces. Hi Mariki. The difficult portion of it. I don't go in with some more water. So we're working with only two colors today. It's the Rococo Brown from Petite Rouge and the Antique Glaze from Petite Rouge. That's what we're working with. So I've just glazed this side now and I've left it for a minute or two, and then I just take my rag and I move it off. If I feel that it's too light, I can always add a little bit of glazing in.
Ask them if they're learning something, if they're going to apply it on their own house or with
Yeah, I would like to know, are you guys going to do what we've been doing? Have you been testing it? Have you been trying it?
There you go. Okay. A little piece of cardboard did the trick.
I like that colour.
Although it's
Can I show them?
yes.
I'm not going to pick it up. So this was a fabric applique that we did in the front. We applied it with the Petite Rouge, the lacquer, on the bottom and over the top. We then did multi-layer stenciling. That's what you see the roses are. Mom has now applied the minty macaroon top and bottom. And she did some white glaze over the flowers just to make them a bit softer. We've got a bit of a batch here.
Yes, I will fix it up. Okay.
Okay. So, where was I? I was busy putting in some more glaze. So I just apply my glaze in small portions and I let it stand just for a moment or two, a minute or two, and then I go in and I wipe it down again. So now I'm not going to do the rest of the box with this little quasi. So I'm going to be using a bigger one now. Maybe that one. Yes. So let's upsize a bit. So we're going into the antique glaze from Petite Rouge. And even if you want to work in sections on it, it's also fine. So if you want to do maybe as if it's a piece of paper that's pulling apart, you can work in sections. Yeah, Sophia, we would like to see what you guys have been doing and up to. This week's challenge is to do something nice in your craft room or your craft area, wherever you do your crafts. Just to share some photos and to put it on the page. That's so that we can inspire other people as well. Just remember there are a lot of people that are alone. So this is also an event for them as well. Dankie Lynette, thanks. She says, well done on this thing for gold. So I'm just using the glaze from Petite Rouge. I'm using a soft rag. It's looking like a hot mess now. And then I just wipe it back and blend it in. While it's still a bit wet, I don't want it totally dry because then it's going to leave permanent marks. You see, you can hardly see that I've done anything there. Alright, and now here on the side. And I just blend it. If I feel it's too dark, like you can see the line, you can always just wipe a bit more. And that's it. I've lost my 1 liter drum now. Right. So you always work in sections when you're working with glaze. Don't try and do your whole side podcast with one shot of glaze. It's not going to work. You need to work in sections to get the best effect. And if you're not sure how to use glaze yet, rather seal your item first, because then you've got more time to actually work your glaze in and out. Where if you apply it straight onto your chalk paint, once it's in, it's in. So until you're comfortable, first seal your project and then do your glaze over your sealant once it's dry. This is looking like a very old little drawmaking. I just want to get another liter on here. Mom did a nice water slide transfer on the lid of her drum. So it's dry already, Mom. So you can see it over with. After
We're going to blend it in a bit.
Oh yeah, yeah, you're going to be blending it.
It's because it has been sealed.
Yes, you can blend it. Once you're done then. Oh, I was busy using a bigger brush. Alright, so there we go. I'm working with the Petite Rouge Antique lacquer. The color's name is Antique. It's a browny color. And I have painted with parchment from Petite Rouge. That's the bottom light color. So I'm just applying my glaze. Sometimes I like just to do it crisscross. It's really up to you how you want to do it. And then I just let it stand a moment or two before I wipe it. Remember, don't go do shopping and leave your glaze, because once you come back, this is exactly how it will dry and you won't be able to blend it. So you need to blend while it's still a bit wet. And you can either blend by tapping it, so then you get a bit of a different effect there, or you can blend by wiping it. So it's really up to you how you want to do it. Okay, Mom's painting just touch-ups on her box. She's done the top and the bottom part with Minty Macron from Petite Rouge. Also the background is also the parchment. That's starting to look as if it's happy today. Strange that we take something new and make it old, eh? Us women. But when it comes to our faces and our bodies, it always needs to look new. I'm just applying the glaze on my box. And then I just let it stand for a moment or two before I start wiping it. Oh, she wants to go out now. So while this is standing a bit, I'm taking my brush that I used to put the shadows around my flowers, the cocoa brown, on a dry brush. You see this area here? I did that with this brush. So there's some areas here I would like to do that as well. So I just go in, I dry brush a bit. And let's say we want a piece here. So this just gives it a bit of a antique effect. And then I just blend that piece as well. So what am I doing here? If you want to use the glaze, there's the glaze. Just do on the side. Right around it. It's up to you where you, and how you want it. What do you think? Yeah, I would maybe just do the corners. That's what I would do. No, I messed up the whole thing. No, I said that before you said, can I use this rag? See? Let's just see. It's a bit of dry brushing there. Now, do you see this mark? It looks like the glaze has left a mark. Now, that's where you can use now more glaze and actually just go around that edge and blend it in a bit. So you can either use your glaze as dry brushing, or you can use it to age. It's really a very flexible product. Yesterday we mixed some white glaze with some paint, and we did. I not have to seal it first now. And we did the flowers over in that glaze. So yeah, you can really play with it a lot. I used the same color glaze on the flowers I did for the lid. So I just went over afterwards, just making it a bit lighter. I still need to do the centers of this flower, but yeah, looking okay. I think I Ray. So now this piece of my drum should be okay now for me to blend. So once again, I'm taking my rag and I'm just blending in the glaze. If you feel that it's making marks, you just press a little bit harder, and you glaze, you match in your glaze. So you can just go around and just wipe your drum. And nothing stops you from adding more white glaze if you want to make it lighter, or adding darker glaze if you want to make it darker. So yeah, you know what I'm doing now, and a bit more. So there you go. My drum so far. I've stopped there with the glaze, so I need to do that piece again. These flowers I've done with the multi-layer peony stencil. That's right. No, I actually like that. So you can now work with your drum and your glaze and play around with it and make it look like you want to.
Can I seal this now or should I leave it?
It should dry first. Your glaze, like your paint, needs to dry for 8 hours. What's the time now?
5 to 4 minutes to.
Okay, so then we're almost done for today. I think tomorrow we'll probably do a totally different project because it's a holiday tomorrow. But just for your sake, remember that we're doing the challenge on your paint room or craft room this week. So take photos of something that you've redone and share it on the page so that everybody can share creativity amongst each other. And then we'll see each other again tomorrow too. Anything you want to say?
No.
What are you making for supper?
Lasagna.
Oh, you think we're having lasagna tonight. We hope you've got a pleasant evening, and then we'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Bye.